We're at Fresno's Diocesan Congress, taking a closer look at youth engagement in the church.
God proved His love for us that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. What's the hardest thing to do? To love those that hurt us.
There comes a point in everyone's life where they have to encounter the real presence of Jesus Christ.
The child will learn far more from their parents and their lack of participation than from anybody else who says, yeah, this is great.
I'm Edgar Guzman. We're here at the Visalia Convention Center with close to 2,000 other Valley Catholics. Everyone has gathered here for a day filled with beautiful worship and a selection of workshops exploring topics of interest to people of faith across the diocese. Someone who knows a great deal about engaging with young people in the church is Justin Fatica. Justin is a founder of Hard As Nails Ministry, and his message has been heard by over 1 million people. He's also an author of several books, including Hard As Nails, a mission to awaken youth to the power of God's love. Justin, welcome, and thank you so much for your time.
Welcome, no problem. I'm excited to be here.
So your Hard As Nails Ministries, where did that get started, and why that name, Hard As Nails?
Yeah, well, I was 22 years old, and you know, when you're 22 and you start something, it's got more of an edgier name. If you started when it was 35, 40, you'd have more of a fluffy name. But Hard As Nails comes from Romans 5:8. God proved His love for us that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And what's the hardest thing to do? To love those that hurt us. What's the hardest thing to do? To be weak. You know, it's hard to forgive. It's hard to be weak. It's hard to show a heart. It's easy to go to your mind and focus on what you can calculate. It's hard to go to your heart and care for those that could hurt you. So we challenge people to do the hard things out of life. You know, writing that letter to somebody who needs it but you struggle with. You know, saving sex till marriage, you know, for young people, that's hard. So we challenge them to do those hard things, because if it's not tough, as my dad taught me, it doesn't hurt, it doesn't count.
Oh, that's very true. And our youth definitely goes through those tough times, those challenges, right?
Oh,
and you
that's
take your
for sure.
messages, you take your message to secular schools, Catholic schools, everywhere. What are the challenges when you take them to the schools? What are the reactions that you see within the Catholic school educational system and a secular high school or something?
Yeah, at the public schools and the Catholic schools, it's the same thing. They're longing to be loved. They're longing to be encouraged. They're longing for hope. And you know, what happens is they're dealing with not having a dad, maybe. They're dealing with being bullied or picked on. They're dealing with self-hatred, maybe even cutting themselves. And we have a team of missionaries, and I know that some of the Fresno people have already signed up to get involved at rememberyouramazing.com. And really, we challenge these young people to get involved with their Catholic faith. But even at the public schools, we don't bring up the name Jesus in the public school. But then we invite them to St. Mary's Church or St. Francis, whatever your church is. And so we do the morning event with the school at the public school, and we invite them to the Catholic Church. And we get them to accept Christ in their life. And then we give them opportunities to be involved. Like we have an 8-week program that we give them an 18 to 30-year-old who will follow up with them and be there for them for 8 weeks on the phone. And so there's all kinds of ways that, sure, they have the challenges, but any challenge is an opportunity to make a difference. Christ's challenge at the cross was an opportunity to resurrect. So we got to give people an opportunity to get more involved with their faith. All right, so bottom line is this, is that today we've got to let go of these things and say, you know what? Jesus is more powerful than my anxiety. We got to let it go. We got to let go of the past, the mistakes you've made, the challenges you've faced, the addictions. Today's the day to say, let it go. Let go. We got to let go of what we're letting that guy or girl do with us. We got to let go of it today. We got to let go.
Now you speak about a family of faith. Explain to us, what is a family of faith? How does one get to that family of faith?
You know, to get to the family of faith, it's number one, looking at those in the past. We all have a grandmother, a father, a mother, a great-grandfather that had great faith. We all can look at the saints of the past and say, they're a part of our family. You know, whether it's St. Isaac Jogues or St. Kateri Tekakwitha or St. Therese, bottom line is that there's people in the past that have gotten involved with this family of faith. And then there's a family of faith of finding one person in your life that can be that companion on the road. Be that person that can say, hey, look, I want to help you in your faith. So like when we do follow-up with any of the young people, the first call they make, we challenge them to write a letter to one person in your family or within your friends that encourages you in their faith. And they'll write to maybe their mom or their brother or their auntie or whoever. And what happens? What happens is they write that letter and then that person can follow up on them. So it gives them an opportunity to have someone that can help them in their family of faith. And like right now, there's just such a need for family.
Yeah.
You know, family, forget about me, I love you. I see so many people adopting kids. And that gives hope, you know. Wow, yeah, it's not your kid, but you're going to adopt somebody. I see so many people saying, look, I want to help out another family who's going through a tough time with their kid. You know, your neighbors can be a part of this family of faith. We need to forget about ourselves and start reaching out to people and make them a family, a part of our faith.
How does that happen, though? How does one reach out, forget about themselves, right? Our whole culture tells us me, me, me.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about me. If it doesn't make me happy, if it's not pleasurable, get out or look for the next thing.
Yeah.
And our faith definitely is counterculture to that,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Our faith teaches us a love that is about pain and suffering.
Yeah.
And that's very counterculture. How do you get not just the youth, but just everybody in general to approach that type of love, to go on beyond myself?
Yeah, it comes from, we say a prayer every day. Lord Jesus, I give you my life through pain, through suffering, and through joy. The only way to get joy is through pain and suffering. Look at my wife. We have 4 kids. Boy, you think it was nice, fun? You think she had a fun time? You know what I mean? Like, oh, wow. I remember, like, it was the first time I ever looked up at God. I said, you're a sicko. You know what I mean? Like 36 hours of labor my wife gets. I'm like, seriously? Come on, give her a break here, God. This is rough. But what came out of it? That pain and suffering my wife went through brought one of the greatest joys of my life. I have 4 of them. My son Joseph, you know, who was born. And I just respect, and we respect people who go through pain and suffering. So what I think we need to do is be rejected. We need to be willing to put ourselves on the line as the Beatitudes, as Jesus said. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God, you know. Blessed are those who mourn, for they'll be comforted. It's these things of uniting ourselves with those suffering and not being afraid to be rejected, reach out to somebody and say, look, I'm going through a tough time. My dad just died. My brother's going through a lot of pain and suffering. Hey, look, I'm going through a struggle with my family. And to put ourselves out there, to put ourselves on the line like Jesus Christ did. Time and time again. I work out. I like to lift. I like to bang out some weights. You bang out the weights, guess what? You get stronger. Guess what? We need to go to our painful places. To go to those suffering places that it hurts. And guess what? We'll have way more joy than the next guy. We'll have way more hope, way more faith. So let's get into the pain and suffering, and God can turn that into joy.
Absolutely. Now, some of that joy, I think it's first found within the family.
Yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
That's Pope Francis says that's the family is a domestic church.
Yep.
That's where it starts. Do you feel that the family and the sacrament of marriage itself is under attack?
Oh, yeah.
Is it, what's going on there?
Oh, yeah, like, so, for instance, God the Father. What does the enemy want to do? He wants to eliminate fathers. Because then they'll look at God the Father and say, you're a fake, you're a loser, you're not real. So the enemy has done a great job at striving to eliminate fathers. But guess what? Jesus Christ can conquer that. Because that is the sign, the power of the cross that says, all right, you want to say my father's done nothing? That's not true. God the Father has. He proved he loved you. That even while you're a sinner and made mistakes, he sent his son to die for you. And you know what? How we're going to get the family back is realizing that God the Father can bring the family back. And some of you have a father, some of you don't. But God the Father is real regardless of how our Father is. So yeah, the enemy's got an attack on the fatherhood. And yeah, he gets an attack on our kids when he tells them lies and that they're no good or they're worthless. But that's where God says, I can conquer that. And how can I conquer that? I can conquer that through my Son. Through my Son giving his life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. So whoever believes in him will not die, but will live forever. The truth is this. Bottom line. Who loves you more than a God that would send his Son to die for you? No one. Guess what? I have 4 kids. I wouldn't send them on a bloody cross for you or for anybody. That's how much he loves us. That he would give up everything for us. Because my Father wants to do some business in your heart. He wants you right now to start believing that you matter. And I ask you to close your eyes. If right now you're that person that's wanting to give up on life at times, stand up. Don't look around. It's not your business who's standing. This is the Father's business. And I want you to say, Father, Abba, Daddy, help me have a heart of God that I'll never want to give up again.
You speak about youth engagement.
Yep.
Yeah. How is youth engagement different now to your youth?
Yeah. Fast pace.
Yeah.
It's quick. You got to get them. You got to always be ready, you know, music. You need to use, media. You need to use all these things to engage them. You need to when you're at a Five Guys restaurant, or you're at Chipotle, or you're hanging out, with your friend at the great, Mexican restaurant, Italian restaurant in the area. You need to be willing to get out of your seat and go up to a young person and say, hey, you matter. You're amazing. And our website is rememberyouramazing.com. Why? Because one time a kid came to me and said, I think your message is BS. That I don't think everybody's amazing. I go, well, God said, in his word, Psalm 139:14, I praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. He said, well, my dad left me. He's not amazing. I looked at him and says, look, that must have been hard. But your dad is amazing, and I'll prove it to you. He goes, you can't prove that to me. I go, I'll do it right now. You were real with me. Let me be real with you. He said, okay. I go, did it hurt you when your dad left? He goes, yeah, it hurt me. I go, did you ever cry about it? He goes, why are you asking all these questions? I said, answer my question. Did you ever cry about it? He goes, of course I cried about it. It was my dad. It hurt. I go, if your dad wasn't amazing, it wouldn't have hurt so bad. We've got to start realizing how amazing we are even by sitting by somebody at a restaurant. That if you get up out of your seat and walk towards a stranger, look them in the eyes and say, you're amazing. You matter. What would happen to them? They'd be like, why is this person doing that? What's this all about? And then you tell them, I just want you to know you matter because God made you. They might remember that for the rest of their life. I was in the McDonald's. Young girl comes up to me. Guess what she says? I looked at her at the McDonald's. She's working there. I go, hey, you're amazing. She goes, oh, thanks so much. Or one of our missionaries brings her a wristband. Here it is. It said, you're amazing on it. I looked out our window. We have a tour bus. We travel. And I said, I even brought you a bus to tell you. You can't all have the bus to tell them. But bottom line is this, is that she said, thank you so much. 8 minutes later on Facebook, I get a message from her mother. My daughter wanted to give up on life. That you told her she was amazing, that she mattered, looked at it as a sign from God that she needs to start appreciating who she is. See? It's just the little things, Forget the bus. Other than that, you can tell everybody they're amazing. Let's go tell everybody they're amazing.
Amazing. Well, how does one start? People aren't as outgoing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's definitely inverted people.
Yeah, of course, introverts.
Introverts. How does one start?
Yeah, you might not want to go. Look, you might not want to go out of your house, but like those people that are introverts, they're sitting around a lot, thinking, praying, reading, right? They're kind of calculating what they want to do. Well, I want you to calculate something right now. Calculate that you need to write letters every day for people suffering, and I want you to send them to them. See, there's something for everybody. We all have something to do. Whether it's somebody at a restaurant. But what would be better than the introvert reaching out to somebody? They see me, they're like, he does that all the time. What about you? Me, I got to get up early. I'm not an introvert, but I get up early to pray. Most days I get an hour of silence every day. Why? Because I need to commune with God. What, because I'm an extrovert, I don't need to be silent? No, get over it, you extrovert. You're God's kid, change your life. Yeah, introvert, change your life. Go out there and encourage somebody at McDonald's. Let's go. Just do it. And if you're rejected, what would be better than be rejected for the sake of the gospel?
Yeah.
What would be better than that? Right? Come on. Wouldn't it be great we could meet God in all his glory? He's like, that was awesome. You got rejected for me. Wow, thanks so much, son.
What is it about your message that connects with people?
I don't know, you know, like I get excited about pasta sauce, so I don't think it's the excitement, you know. Look, we have 3 core virtues, and anybody can live these out. It's not just me. We live by these. We call them the evangelical virtues. You know, the theological virtues, faith, hope, and love. You know, the cardinal virtues. You know, prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude. But we need evangelical virtues. How to evangelize. And how we do that is through courage, through authenticity, and through obedience. When you're real, people know you love them. Yeah. When you're courageous, they're like, why are they willing to be courageous? It's a power that pulls them in. And when you're obedient, they say he's not some fake. He's really living this out. You know, he's real and really wants to live this out, and he's not some radical, you know. So that's how we do it. And it comes from, as Dr. Hahn, who's a good friend of mine, said, you know, he said, I told him what the evangelical virtues go, and he goes, I never knew, what are those? I never heard of those. And I said, oh, we made them up, but it's fun. And he goes, well, what are they? And I told him, courage, authenticity, obedience. He goes, yes. He's doing his Bible crunching. 2 Timothy 1:7. God does not give us a spirit of cowardice, but of power, love, self-control. I go, why do you say that? He goes, the power is the courage. The authenticity is the love, and the self-control is the obedience. I go, I like that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. Next day I did a retreat for his staff and his board. I gave a talk for that.
In there?
And no, he wanted me to tell him about the evangelical virtue. I said, all right, let's do it. All right?
Awesome. Justin, thank you so much.
Oh, you're amazing.
God
man.
bless you and all
God
you do,
bless
and
you,
we'll
man.
be in
I'm proud
touch.
of you. I'm proud of you. And if I don't see you, I'll see you in heaven, all right?
I'll see you there.
This is with our young people who have maybe been catechized but not evangelized. But there comes a point in everyone's life where they have to encounter the real presence of Jesus Christ, and there has to be a giving of our will.
For centuries, being a Catholic missionary meant traveling overseas with a religious order. But one man, Justin Fatica, a straight-talking Catholic evangelist, and his team of spirit-driven young missionaries represent a new generation of American Catholics. Justin and his team travel by bus across the United States on a mission to awaken everyone they encounter to the power of God's love.